Afternoon and welcome to the Imps podcast show with me, Cornell B. Back again. I am back live and direct after obviously I said last week that there wouldn't be no podcast show because obviously I'm in London. But obviously I'm back. I'm back live and direct, treading once again with a brand new podcast talking about Lincoln City, obviously reflecting on Burton out on when beating Burton Albion at the Pandeli Stadium, obviously transfer deadline day, and obviously, you know what, looking towards Lincoln City versus Fleetwood Town match preview in the game for this Saturday's game. So before I get in the video, I want to say thank you very much to the 477 subscribers who are subscribed to my YouTube channel. It absolutely means the world. Keep on smashing your likes, keep on leaving your comments, keep on leaving your reactions in the comments box, and also keep on hitting that subscribe button on the left hand side, man. Obviously, it really means a lot. I'd love to get it up to 478. It would be very, very appreciated, or even better than that, 479. It would be very, very appreciated, but just doing it in baby steps. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, listen, let's get into the podcast. So it is obviously, as I said, I did say last week that there wouldn't be no podcast show out, obviously, before the Burton Albion game, because obviously, as I said, last week I was in London. I had an appointment down there, so I couldn't really put out another podcast show, but I did say it would be a little bit late, obviously, even though it doesn't matter, but obviously it's nice to reflect on last week's game. Obviously, when we beat Burton Albion at the Pendeli Stadium, Rico Hackett running the show from start to finish like he always does. That's why I like Rico Hackett, masterclass as ever. But obviously, let's talk Lincoln City versus Burton Albion, where we won 1-0. Obviously, we saw one change being made. We saw Dylan Duffy being added into the team, into the starting 11. We saw a 4-4-2, which obviously normally would play the 3-4-1-2, but obviously, you know, Skabala as the head coach has to obviously mix it up and find out which formation really suits us, Lincoln City, and how the players can be suited and adapted to it. So Cornell B, was absolutely brilliant. What is my reaction to Lincoln City beating Burton Albion at home, beating Burton Albion away? What is my reaction to that? I'll tell you what, it is one of the best wins. Obviously, we had to win because obviously, if we haven't won any games in the last 10 games. The last time we had won was in November, and that was against Cambridge United, where we won 3-0, and we absolutely destroyed Cambridge United at their ground. And since then, we haven't won since then. But obviously, do you know how important it was for us to win that game? It was so important because obviously, us Lincoln City, if we didn't win against Burton Albion, I think loads of questions would be seriously asked, and I'll be thinking, well, what is it going to take for us to Lincoln City to go on and win the game? That was my sort of reaction to that as well too. But obviously, I thought we played really, really well in that game. I thought we attacked them very well. I got to be honest, the first half was like 10 times better than was 10 times better compared to the second half. Second half, it was really improved. But I got to be on, and I'm saying it in all honesty, I think Burton were the better side in the first half. The reason why is they had more of the ball. They had more of attacking threat, and they were causing us problems. And obviously, we had to dig deep. But I think the way we took the game to them in the first half, I thought was outstanding. And I thought the way we went about our business in the first half was brilliant. Obviously, we went down to 10 men. The first one, I got to be honest, I don't think it was a yellow card. I don't think it was a yellow card. Obviously, Alex Mitchell has got a second red card, got a second yellow card, and he was off. Obviously, he pulled back the Burton player, even though some will say they don't think it was a yellow, they don't think it was a red card, but obviously the referee sent him off. And he was given his marching orders and went down the tunnel. So he went down to 10 men. And then obviously they felt like, which was Burton Albion, they thought, oh yeah, it's us Lincoln City. We can easily beat them. No, you thought wrong. You absolutely thought wrong. You thought the red card was obviously going to stop us from beating you. No, it weren't, because what it did, it gave us the motivation and the obviously not just the only motivation. It gave us the upliftment that we needed. It gave us the enthusiasm. It gave us obviously the positivity / the land of positivity to really strike. And I'm telling you, It really, really struck. Second half, we were the better side. And anyone would probably say the same thing. We were better in the second half. Absolutely well improved. But Rico Hackett, man, / rewind Rico Hackett. He was the star of the show. What a pass from Ethan Aron. Absolutely brilliant. It was outstanding to see us get that goal. And the limbs that was celebrating from the stands in the Pandeli Stadium, absolutely brilliant. It was just out in numbers, absolutely brilliant to get 3 points out of that game, and we well deserved it. And I thought we defended well. I thought the players put the body on their line. They put everything on the line and said, you know what, we're gonna give the Imps fans what they want. And obviously, it was so great to see Paulie O'Connor just push Rico Hackett and let him do the fist pump in the crowd, and then Skabala doing what he does, and then the Skabala chant as well with the Skubala, Duffy on a wing, hear the Lincoln sing, Hitty's going up the league. Yes, love that chant. Obviously, I gotta be honest. I was so thrilled when we scored. When I was going for my appointment in London, and I was obviously watching it on the iPhone, and when I saw Rico Hackett score, I was like, OMG, I can't believe it. Rico Hackett has finally scored, obviously since his return. This is the best performance that you have ever seen from Rico Hackett this season. Obviously, since his return at Wickham, and obviously being introduced and hearing the chants of Rico, 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 even though a few fans have obviously given me a different chant for Rico Hackett, but hoping it will go down well with 617. Big up 617 Squadron. To be fair, let's give Rico Hackett the credit he deserves. He's been the best player. And do you know what I said? I even said on Stacey West podcast, and I said it to the likes of other Imps fans, including big up Gary Hutchinson and big up Chris Lamin and big up Charlie Breaston, and also big up the whole crew. I said that Rico Hackett showed what we were missing in the final third. Throughout the first half of the season, us Lincoln City was not the same without him. And as soon as we got the news and Rico returned, I said, you know what? We're going to do something special with Rico. And if we can go at the table, finish in a good position in the table, we'll be fine this second half of the season. But obviously, it wasn't just Rico Hackett's return. We saw the return of Ben House. OMG. Ben House made a huge impact in that second half. He had a chance which went wide, but you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Skabala plays him on Saturday, because the impact he made when coming on. I know he's not going to play the full 90, just like how, Rico Hackett's not going to play the full 90, because basically he played the full 90, obviously, against Burton, but obviously because Ben House came back, and obviously Skabala wants to protect him and make sure that he doesn't really have another injury, because it will pretty suck if he did. Then obviously we know what we've missed. We've missed Ben House. We have missed Ben House, because Ben House gives everything that he has in this team, and he's a pressing forward. He presses defenders and he gets on the ball, and he's like a new version of a centre back, and that's what I like about Ben House. Obviously, look. Ben House obviously will score eventually, and I think he will get goals. I think he will put Joe Taylor under pressure a lot. And I think Joe Taylor, Freddie Draper, I think will learn a lot from Ben House, because as an experienced player who's obviously played in the non-league himself for Eastleigh, he will know all about those things, and coming to us was very, very big pressure. But obviously, look, listen, mostly I would say that Ben House deserves to be in the starting 11, but it'll be very, very harsh to pull out Draper. And I know Rico Hackett's obviously going to play up front, but obviously when he came on, it was just so outstanding. It was like me playing Our House by Madness on repeat. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, it shows how important Ben House is and how important Rico Hackett is. But Rico Hackett, I'm even surprised that he's not even he wasn't in the EFL Team of the Week, because I would have rather put him, and I would rather put obviously Jackson. I would have put Sorensen in it, even though Sorensen's form has kind of like dipped and gone under par a bit. But like I said, listen, at the end of the day, us Lincoln City don't need to worry about the performances, don't need to worry about who's played well, who doesn't play, who didn't play well. What mattered was that we got 3 points. What mattered was we are still 12, but obviously if we can, when we win against Fleetwood, which will be slightly tough, but obviously I do believe that us Lincoln City, we're going to win and we're going to beat Fleetwood, which I'm going to come on to in a minute. But obviously, that was the Lincoln City versus Burton Albion game away at the Pendeley Stadium. Brilliant for all the Imps fans that travelled all the way there and got their chance to go and see Lincoln City get the victory. So big up all the Imps fans and everybody. Obviously, deadline day was struck. We have 2 signings. Obviously, we got one on loan and we got one on a permanent deal, which is a project player. First of all, I couldn't believe it when I saw Conor McGrandles. I thought it was Charlie McCannon because us Lincoln City was linked with a move with Charlie McCannon. We all thought that Charlie McCannon may have come to Lincoln City. Obviously, he was going to head out on loan, but he stayed put at Forest Green Rovers. Obviously, his loan spell at Rangers came to an end, and obviously got recalled back to Forest Green Rovers. I mean, obviously he's in a team that's obviously struggling. So I kind of like felt, well, okay, why doesn't Lincoln City try and go for him? And then obviously I get the text and somebody says to me, Cornell, Charlie McCannon is coming at 10. And then when I was like, oh my days, I can't believe it. I can't believe he's coming. And then when I look at it properly, somebody tweeted back and said to me, yo, Cornell, it's not Charlie McCannon, it's Conor McGrandles. I was like, what? Conor McGrandles is coming back to Lincoln City. And I was like, oh my days. I can't believe it. I'm excited. Listen, I'm happy that Conor McGrandles come. So obviously, Conor McGrandles has re-signed with us on loan till the end of the season from Charlton. Obviously, he hasn't been playing very well. We're talking about Conor McGrandles, who obviously was our best player throughout the 2021 season and during the playoff season, when we were almost touching distance of being promoted from League One to the Championship and tasting Championship football. But obviously, listen, we're talking about Conor McGrandles, who linked up well with Liam Bridcut, who linked up well with George Grant, even though, yes, they were the best midfield three of that era, of the Appleton era, and really played a part with us Lincoln City in the playoff idea. And also, we're talking about a player who was highly rated in our Imps team. And he was highly rated in our Imps team and obviously got in the EFL Team of the Week most times because of his hard work. Obviously, there was a rumour about him going back to Scotland, and obviously when he came in the interview where he said it weren't true. You know, obviously Peterborough, Charlton were after him. Obviously we all thought he was going to go to a Scottish team, but obviously he ended up going Charlton, and then obviously didn't really work so well, and then he went on to Cambridge, didn't really go well, and then obviously didn't really work, and then after that he went back to Charlton, and then obviously Charlton's got like 3 midfielders now, and then obviously he's gone down the pecking order, so he needs to get back to playing to get him back to himself. But obviously, look, listen, I'm not one of these like pessimists where I say, oh well, why did we take him back? We should have got somebody else. But listen, I felt like obviously seeing him come back to Lincoln City, I think he's got a point to prove. And you know, obviously not just only to me because I'm excluding myself, but maybe to some Imps fans that probably is not that happy seeing him back. But obviously, look, the fact of the matter is, instead of like slagging him down, I think it's better to get behind him because he needs that backing, he needs that support, and say, you know, listen, it's good to see you back, but obviously I've got to be honest. When he came on against Burton Albion, I thought he was a different player, but obviously, you know, he controlled the midfield very well. I thought he played his heart and soul in the game and really and we saw a different Conor McGrandles than how we saw before from then to now. So it's a different kettle of fish with Conor McGrandles. But listen, seeing Conor McGrandles come back, oh my days, I can't believe it. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for Conor McGrandles, and I would love to see him link up with the 2 Ethans in midfield and Bishop in midfield. I wouldn't be surprised if I see you know, Skabala maybe go for him. But obviously that was a shock to some people. But obviously, look, fantastic and fair plays to Conor McGrandles coming back. Do you know what I mean? So big up Conor McGrandles. And then last but not least, the next day we all thought there was another signing coming. Then the message puts out and says that there is a project signing which would be a House Duffy type of player, and we get Zach Bradshaw from Ipswich Town, who was playing for Woking in the National League, played 19 matches and scored one goal, one assist. What's my reaction to Zach Bradshaw obviously coming to Lincoln on a permanent? I think it's fantastic because I think it was a bit similar to um, Charlie McKendall, and we all thought that it was going to go well for Charlie, but obviously didn't really work. But obviously, look, listen, I think having someone on a permanent like him, obviously he's been loaned out to the League of Ireland, to Dundalk. Obviously he can play as a centre back, he can play as a defensive midfielder as well, which really goes in our favour. He can play as a winger as well, play on the right, play on the left. But obviously, he's a very versatile, decent, project player that is for the future. And I think next season we'll see the very best of Zach Bradshaw. So, welcome to the Mighty Imps, Zach Bradshaw. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that he's at Lincoln City, and obviously we all expected maybe a free agent to come, but obviously didn't happen. But obviously, I think Skubala's saving all the permanents until the summer. Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously, what a signing that is, and I'm very very thrilled. And then obviously this Saturday we have Fleetwood Town at the LNER Stadium. So that was transfer deadline day, reflecting on Conor McGrandles and Zach Bradshaw coming to Lincoln and being loaned out to the League of Ireland, and we're wishing him all the best of luck in the League of Ireland, which starts very very soon, the week after next, which I'll be watching them and seeing how well they do in the League of Ireland. So right now, let's talk about Lincoln City versus Fleetwood Town. Obviously, that game, obviously Fleetwood Town, obviously they won their game in midweek, which they did, and they obviously are in a relegation fight, and they haven't been in their best of form. Like as of now, they won their game in the midweek, and obviously on the weekend they won their game and showed the positivity, what they're about. Obviously they made some few signings. Obviously losing Jack Marriott to Wrexham, I think, is a big blow for them, but they didn't let that stop them. I mean, look, how confident can we be, obviously, going into this Fleetwood game? Listen, we beat Burton Albion, sorry, that for a reason. Reason why we beat Burton Albion is because us, Lincoln City, we deserve to take that confidence and bring it into Fleetwood. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a dilemma for Michael Skubala, because Michael Skubala has to choose who plays alongside Jackson and Rowan and Sorensen. Does TJ Ulmer play? But obviously, it looks unlikely that TJ is probably going to play, even though I did read that there's a possibility that maybe TJ Ulmer may leave and go somewhere where he's going to get playing time, which is understandable because obviously they don't want to be stuck on a bench and they're not playing. Do you know what I mean? I think like O'Connor's will probably get in the team. And as much as I would want to see TJ Ulmer be in the team, but I'd rather see like O'Connor, because like I know some Imps fans will say that O'Connor's um discipline needs to be improved. And I think when he came on against Burton Albion, I thought he had a very improved game and his discipline was outstanding. He really controlled his discipline on the pitch, and that's the way that O'Connor's got to do it. But obviously, listen, I think O'Connor's going to start on Saturday, and the reason why I say that is because I think he has to prove his point, and obviously say, listen, I was suspended. Obviously, Mitchell and Jackson and Rowan have been really bossing the back line and really have put themselves out there. But obviously, O'Connor has to have a fantastic game, and I know he will. But big up Paul O'Connor, obviously. So I won't be surprised if Paul O'Connor starts, obviously, to this Saturday, obviously. Lucas Jensen, obviously, 11 clean sheets this season. I'm rooting for him to get his 12th clean sheet. Obviously, this player has been outstanding to watch this season. To get 11 clean sheets this season and to really boost his confidence even more than how it is, it really shows how brilliant that he is. And I do believe, I am so rooting for him to get it. And we got to do it with we got to play the same positive football. We still got to play the same positive energy. And if we can carry it, bring that attacking intensity to Fleetwood, stop their attacks, stop them on the counter attack. see out set pieces, we're going to win the game for sure on Saturday, and I believe it. And I'm and as optimist as I am, I'm believing that us Lincoln City can go on and really get 3 points, and we will get 3 points on Saturday. If he is going to put out the team and he's going to put a stronger team out, I would say I think it'll go Jensen in goal, back line. Obviously, I think Sorensen, Rowan at right with centre back, Jackson and O'Connor at the back. I think the two Ethans, Bishop. It's a toss up between Mandroyu and McGrandles in that midfield, because one of them will obviously play. Fingers crossed, Dylan Duffy is not seriously injured. I mean, if it is serious, then I think either Mandroyu or McGrandles will step in for him. And it shows that when Scabala's got the absolute options on the bench, then it can be used. So I wouldn't be surprised a toss up between Mandroyu and McGrandles. But I think if you had to choose, I think you would put McGrandles in that midfield just to give that sort of sensibility. But obviously, then you got Rico Hackett. I think Rico Hackett's gonna stay up front. Obviously, I think he was absolutely dominant up front and really caused that Burton Albion defense so many problems last week. So I wouldn't be surprised if he stays up front. I think Draper will obviously play, but I think for me, something about Ben House, I think wouldn't be surprising if Ben House plays on Saturday, because obviously, no disrespect towards Freddie Drapes. I would rather see Freddie Draper keep his place, because I feel like Freddie Draper's still got more to prove at the age of 19, and we haven't seen him score a goal as yet. But obviously, I believe he'll score. He will score, and he'll get his confidence back. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's a toss up between House and Draper to play alongside Rico Hackett. Or you never know. I think Taylor might play there, unless he goes Taylor and Hackett probably to play as a two. So that it's toss up. It's a toss up between a few faces to play on Saturday. But like I said, 3 points are coming to Lincoln. And first of all, I gotta say, big up Cappers. Obviously, absolutely, Cappers. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing an outstanding job in your podcasting. Obviously, the League One podcast show on what you're doing with Jake Tonge and the rest of the crew, and 4-0 written all over it. Obviously, keep on doing what you're doing. But obviously, I'm real sorry, Cappers, but listen, you're going to lose on Saturday. You're going to lose to Lincoln City on Saturday. We're going to take the 3 points away from you, and we're going to go 10th in the table, and nothing is going to stop us from beating your team on Saturday. No matter how hard your team tries to knock us down, we are going to take Fleetwood down. We are going to beat Fleetwood on Saturday. We are going to play with positive energy, positive momentum. You're going to see the likes of Jensen get his clean sheet, get his 12th clean sheet, get his 12th clean sheet. He's going to work hard, and he will be unstoppable. The back line is going to put everything on the line, solid ability, everything. The whole team, not just the back line, not just the midfield, every single person that is working hard on that pitch, you're going to see positivity, you're going to see optimism, you're going to see everything being put into this team. Into this performance on Saturday, and nothing is going to stop us from winning the game, because we're going to take the game to them. We're going to bring the tackle intensity to Fleetwood Town, and nothing will stop us from being successful and being victorious from start to finish. But obviously, I can't wait for Saturday's game. I can't wait to go to it. I can't wait to go into that singing section and to obviously be part of the Imps fans once again, and to really get behind the team. I can't wait for that. I'm so excited. So big up every single person who has listened to the Imps View podcast show. I do apologise for putting it out a bit late, and obviously reflecting on last week's game, the transfer deadline day, of course, that's just gone. And obviously previewing tomorrow, this Saturday's game, obviously. But I'm just excited. I can't wait to go, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Thank you very much for listening to the Imps View podcast show. Keep on smashing your likes, keep on leaving your comments, and also leaving your reactions and your comments on the comments box section, and also keep on smashing the subscribe button. Can't wait for Fleetwood. Can't wait to pepper up the Fleetwood and beat them and get the 3 points on Saturday. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys soon. Up the Imps. Back again!